This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library.
Enough, you can get the Truefire All Access Pass for as cheap as they ever do it, the $99 thing. So just jump and do that if you're looking for the best price you can get Truefire All Access for.
Okay, this guitar showed up on my doorstep on, I think it was Friday evening, maybe Thursday evening. But I've had gigs on Friday and I had a gig yesterday. So rather predictably, it's Sunday that I'm filming this now, by the way. The first thing that I kind of think when I find a guitar I'm kind of liking, and I think it is relevant or maybe interesting to some of you guys, is that I try to gig the thing. There are certain guitars, like the very cheapest guitars, that in some cases I might not, or just guitars that maybe don't suit me as well, that I don't, but the ones like this, which I think, to me, one of the best PRS guitars that I've played, you know, a bunch of core models and all that stuff. I've done a video on this, like 3 of this type of guitar, the Miles Kennedy, the actual core NF53 and this NF53 SE. I think I like this one best of all. I think a big part of that is also that it comes with a much more affordable price tag. I think for you guys in America at the moment, they might be as little as $779 on Sweetwater. In the UK, I think $679. Peach and Andertons have them on pre-order for at the moment. So I'm a little bit skeptical in terms of are they all going to be this good? So I'm sort of tempted either to ask PRS, can I get a price on this one, or buy a different one with it in mind that I could compare the two and see if they're actually all this good. But the key ingredients are there, I think, for them to be great guitars. It would just be, you know, varieties of weight and then, you know, QC and those sorts of things. So the neck shape for me is what I like best about it. Anyway, I gigged it. There's going to be some footage from the gig with Mammoth last night. We had John Bangham playing keys, Amy Stanford singing, Ryan Chappell on bass, and Pete Chart on drums. Anyway, it was quite a fun sort of Oktoberfest gig, sorry, in front of lots and lots of people. I think this is a fantastic looking guitar personally. My wife not so much, but I really like the way it looks. I have one criticism, which is that gigging, this is still in the wrong position for me. Now, obviously that's an intentional place that they put these so they don't get knocked, but I'm still going sort of around here by instinct as a Strat player or a Tele player and going, right, where's my, I need to make a change. So it's still, for me, this placement is not optimal. But aside from that, a fantastic guitar, very comfortable. The other thing that for me is maybe a bit of a question is, would any other pickups work in this guitar? And for me, what I might even consider as an idea is, could you put in some more traditional Tele pickups? I mean, I guess the point with these is the narrow fields are kind of noiseless, a bit maybe more output. Do they sound good? I think they do. Do they sound Tele-ish? I think they do. It doesn't have a coil split or anything like that, because why would it need to? It's 2 single coils, essentially. But yes, very comfortable playing all over the neck. I think it's a 10-inch radius. It's 31 out of 32, 31, 32 inches here. So basically an inch-ish here, which is kind of like, if it was that thick down here, would be kind of considered, I think, close to a baseball bat neck, like that no caster shape, and down here I think it's 7/8 of an inch. So I really like that on this guitar. It's like a very substantial feeling neck, and for me, very comfortable playing it for a long time. That's one of the things that I find with skinnier necks. Sometimes, if you've got like a skinnier neck and gauge 10 strings, there's elements around that which I don't find super optimal. But as I say, I think looks fantastic. I think sounds the part, looks the part, stayed in tune the whole gig. Yes, and this was the other thing. So this was a gig like maybe 1,000 people, I think, right? And you know, there were long portions of the day. There was 2 bands on the stage. So there was like it was a London street band. It was like doing horn arrangements of pop tunes with the drum kit. So there were long amounts of time that my guitar was unattended, or my guitars, because I took 3. And although there was security and stuff like that, you just think this is the kind of scenario where anything could kind of happen, right? And you think, would I want to take a £3,000 PRS to that sort of situation? Whether it's like a pub or whether it's like a show like that where you're leaving the guitar unattended. I'm sure if it was a guitar that was, you know, higher value, that it would be the sort of thing that I'd go, right, I'm not leaving that on stage, I'll take that back stage with me. But like I say, it just, certainly when there was a long break, I would put it back in the case. But it just made me think, like, there is, to me, like a price where, is it worth taking a guitar that is super valuable on certain gigs? The other guitar that I took with me was a Sire S7. I'm going to do a video on that as well at some point. Similar sort of price range, right? Like £600. And it feels like that to me is about the sweet spot where you can get some guitars like this, which just play fantastically well from Indonesia. But at the same time, like, if anything were to happen, would it bankrupt you? You know, or would you feel like, look, I can get another one of these guitars, or, you know, if I have to say to PRS, look, I took it to a gig and it got wrecked by a Marine, you know, could I talk myself out of that and send them the money for it? Whereas, you know, like the S2 or some of those kind of models, I feel a little bit less comfortable taking that sort of thing out on this sort of gig, to be honest with you. And so, yeah, I guess that's the question in a way, right? How expensive should professional gear be? And does it get to a point where actually the more professional kind of gigs you're on, or like semi-pro, you know, not like straight level touring stuff with like Jamiroquai or someone like that, where you presume actually things are a lot more secure, but, you know, that level where it's like, well, like my buddy playing at Wingfest in Sheffield or whatever, like, is all this gear super secure? Probably not. Is it worth taking some really valuable stuff on gigs like that? Probably not. And that to me is kind of what I love about this guitar, is like it's got the essence of the PRS core NF53. I think it looks just as good. Out of the 3 that I've played, I've connected with this one the best anyway, and so that's kind of like a perfect sweet spot. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of it looks wise? Have you played one? And if you've got a terrible experience with some PRS SEs, please share those in the comments. I've not. There was that one guitar that showed up with the fret that kind of like was shaved half off, like the end was missing completely. But that's one out of, I don't know, 10, 15 SEs that I've played. Do they all feel as quality to me as this? No, this is a bit of an exception so far, but I am strongly considering whether maybe I grab one of these to try and do like a comparison between two SE models. I have had like 3-4 Silver Sky SEs, and those were all pretty high quality as well, and like no nasty surprises on those particularly either. So I think the SE quality can be really good. So there's nothing to me that to suggest that actually I would be horrified if I were to buy another NF53. I guess the tops are going to be quite variable because this is wood grain. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. How you think it sounds on a stage at volume. Would this sound any different to a core? I very much doubt it. The neck shape, the most important thing for me, where it feels exactly like one of those cores to kind of play. Yeah, they've absolutely nailed it.